Let's revel in the essential. In the
Protein.
What?
Yep. New Protein Eggo Waffles. Same great Eggo taste with 20% of your daily protein. Lego My Protein Eggo.
Rice beyond dreams. Don't know what to tell you.
can't help it if I'm popping, see them watch my feel fabulous. Work it out. I hit it back with a brand new style. I'ma shout it real loud and proud. Baby, I'm fabulous.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest? I woke up feeling the cheesiest, cuz.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
Hey guys, today I'm doing a little bit of a stealther in a public day use area. Now this, by all rights, in my opinion, should be a campground, and it actually looks like it was at some point. There may have been a booth here, a registration booth, something like that, but there's a vehicle coming, so I'm going to get out of the way. We're going to check this park out a little bit, and I drove in here today. We're going to figure out how to leave the vehicle here overnight, so let's go. All right. Beautiful, beautiful park. We're coming down some walking trails here with what look to be campsites, and it looks like this was actually a walk-in campground at some point. There are some people having a nice group picnic over there, and I can walk right down here to the lake. And there's a little boat launch. Somebody just sent me a message. Oh, it's a crazy neighbor. Sorry, I'll shut the phone off. Now I can see these maintenance trails that they have here. They come right through like so. And all along here, there are little campsite-y things. So it is my suspicion that this used to be, in fact, a free county sort of campground. They may have had trouble with bush parties, etc. So unfortunately, it's turned into a day use area. You know, you can see there's some picnic tables, there's some fire rings, that type of thing. Now, I don't know what it would cost them to actually turn this into a campground. In fact, I think they'd make a little more money than as a day use area. This is completely free to use during the daytime. And, you know, such a beautifully maintained place. They got garbage cans, they have toilets. The only thing they have to lose by turning it into a campground is getting $20 or $30 a night or whatever they charged. So I'm gonna sit down under this beautiful tree in full bloom here. And that, I think, calls for step 2 right by the lake. Because step 1 was finding the old accesses and what I'm sure was a campground. So let's sit down here under this tree. Oh, that's not in bloom, that's poplar fuzz. Okay, good thing I'm not allergic. Step 2 today is scotch, because it's easier to carry in than beer, that's for sure. And it is so smooth. That's smooth, yeah. There's a few pieces of firewood here. I'll try to find some more. It's a little windy today. I hope that doesn't interfere with the sound too much, because I'm filming on Wednesday. I managed to get a day off here. So happy Wednesday, a day late. It's Thursday now. But I'm going to stay away from those other groups of people. Since I've exploded on YouTube a little bit, or gained a lot more popularity since last summer, I do tend to get recognized a little bit. And if somebody sees me in a public day use park, the backpack and the camera, I think the jig will be up. They're gonna know exactly what I'm up to. So I can be here just fine, having a little fire. I shouldn't really have the whiskey with me, scotch, but it's a gray area. They're starting to make it more legal in day use areas because they've noticed everybody does it anyways. So find some more firewood, get set up right here as if I'm just a normal guy, enjoying the nature, taking some wildlife shots, which I am. So it's gonna be good. Look for a little more firewood. A free wood pile, hard to believe. And I'm gonna move the site over a little closer because it's a lot to carry. And I've gotten out of shape lately. I have to get back into shape. I was gonna cycle out here. That's like a couple hour cycle trip. And it used to be no problem. In fact, about 8 years ago, I did an 800 mile or 1,200 kilometer cycle tour from Victoria to BC to Edmonton, Alberta. And I did 60 miles or 100K a day, no problem. Except when I tried to come out here yesterday, I got about a half an hour in. I said, okay, that's a project for another day as I slowly get a little more into shape, ease down into step twos a little bit, and just generally do as much more physical exercise as I can. So I'm going to scoop up a bunch of this wood and get it over quickly before somebody else grabs this and set up and just act like I belong here. This fire pit I'm not going to cook on. It is way too deep. They've cleaned it out. And if I get any flames to the top, this fire would have to be huge in order for that to happen. I do have a little cooking stove, which is a little more reliable on the heat, a little more controllable. So we'll save the fire for a little bit when the mosquitoes get bad, and that'll flush them out nicely. Oh yeah. Doesn't get a lot better than this. So we've secured a little wood. I don't think there's anybody coming by this site. I picked a non-weekend to come out here, so things should die off pretty quick. It's a school night. And this is what all the fuss is about this part. There's a little lake here, which is probably good for fish. Now, I don't have my fishing license quite yet this year. Otherwise, I'd probably fish from the pier somewhere if I could. But I will be doing some fishing in the future. And not a huge lake, but a good lake. Looks quite nice. She couldn't be a day used without the swing sets. So, depending on my mood, I may indulge later. As some people know, that is my guilty pleasure. I do enjoy a good swing after a few step twos. Onward we go. Finders keepers. This will burn good. Oh well. Can't leave this here. Okay, good stuff. The mosquitoes are coming out though. So I'm going to use this Thermacell mosquito repellent. I've had good luck with it. Not everybody has, but for me, it has really done the job. Super easy to use. It's just another toolkit in the drawer dealing with these bloodsuckers. And throw in a fresh butane cartridge. And when this starts smoking, it should clear the air pretty quickly of any of these pesky critters. Pull some stuff out, make it look like I'm just here for a little barbecue. Go. A fresh butane cartridge for the Thermacell. Okay. Not a moment too soon. I am getting eaten alive. Oh yeah, there we go. That should do. It doesn't work really well if there's a ton of wind, but then if there's a ton of wind, there's not usually a ton of skeeters. So, got stuff I need out for a nice little meal here. I just grabbed my regular to-go bag. I've got a little candle I can put out here, make it look like a really pathetic picnic for one. But yeah, I'll just sadly sit here and sip my scotch by myself with a candle going while the good families all play frisbee and stuff. But that's just fine with me. Keep this on down low. Better start a little fire so I don't creep everybody out here. Sitting by myself with a camera. Look a little more normal what I'm doing here. All right. Hey, this stuff's not just for the barbecue. Believe it or not, I still enjoy using the charcoal barbecue. Adds to the flavor, I find. There we go. This is the ultra low potency stuff. It doesn't go like, whoa. They call it concentrated, and actually in their instructions they recommend once it's burning that you give it another squirt carefully. I don't know, I'm not even going to do that even though it says in the instructions, because I've just been raised to not put any accelerant onto an already burning fire. And I do enough risky things as it is. I don't need to compound problems here. Getting out of cell service. That should do. Kids playing in the park. This guy throwing football around with his kid right now. And I'm just here like, I want to hunker down. So it shouldn't be too long until they all leave. And I can more actively look for a place to set up the hammock without looking like a total creep. So I'm going to throw a little more wood on the fire, play the waiting game. It looks like they're getting close to packing up. And that should mean a day use part to myself. For some evening use, I can get set up quite nicely here. And I think what I'm going to do is just put a note on my car that says I've lost the keys, or something like that. You know, car won't start. I've lost the keys. We'll get the car in the morning. That should be good. No valuables inside or something. Just leave that on the windshield. And hopefully in the morning, the car's still there. Because if they start to tow it at night, if I stumble out of the woods frantically, the jig will be up. So throw a little more wood on here. And we play the waiting game. The family has seemed to move along, so I'm going to cook quickly. I'm not putting any more wood on the fire because if it starts to get close to 10, 11 when I shouldn't be here, they see me with a big fire, they're going to know something's not right. Brought a little butane stove with me. You know, it's just too unpredictable to try and cook on that. And for bringing this little tiny thing, saving the bottom of the pot, I have heard some good tips from a lot of people that you coat bottom in dish soap, and that'll stop it from getting all sooty and horrible. But today, start with browning up a little chicken with olive oil. The garbage can right there. That's awesome. Okay. It's fried up. This is a variant on a different recipe I normally do. There's a casserole. And essentially you've got chicken chunks, stovetop dried stuffing mix, can of mushroom soup. I picked some green beans out of the freezer, but they were pretty freezer burned. So on the way, I just grabbed a bag of mixed vegetables. Usually I use broccoli, but I didn't come across any in my venture out here. Round this up. I've never done it this way in a skillet before, but one pot skillet meals are what camping is all about. With the pulverized chicken morsels, I'll add a little water. I'm adding about a cup right now. I refill these little plastic ones at home because they're so light compared with the normal refillable canister. And they last quite a while. You can really beat them up. I haven't had an issue. So about a cup of water in there. Yeah, good old cream of mushroom can.